Estamos presentes para garantir a sua segurança e de sua família. Durante as operações, mantenha calma e siga as nossas orientações.
4,000 soldiers and police are entering Lin's favela, a slum neighborhood in Rio. They're expecting a shootout. The area is controlled by the powerful Red Command drug gang.
This is the first time I've ever had to wear a flak jacket and a helmet, but I never expected to have to wear it in a city. I thought it'd be in a war zone. And we're in Rio de Janeiro and surrounded by the military.
For the first time in 30 years, soldiers are controlling the streets of Rio.
Oh man.
They're taking on the gangs who control the favelas, hoping to end an epidemic of murder and violent crime.
That digger has just been smashing this barricade, which was put up by the gangs and the drug dealers to control who goes in and out of the favela.
Os criminosos daqui são extremamente armados, armamento de guerra, muito melhores do que os nossos. Aqui é um lugar único, o Rio de Janeiro é um lugar único. Se a gente for avaliar as estatísticas, a gente está numa guerra.
We're told the Red Command gunmen have fled. It's a game of cat and mouse. Fabio Barreto, a TV correspondent, says for him the favelas are no-go areas, but they're home to a quarter of Rio's population.
Would you come here to the favela to look for stories if the police and the military weren't here?
Certamente não. Ainda não. Porque nós, jornalistas, não temos proteção suficiente por conta do tráfico de drogas. Nós não podemos entrar nas comunidades sem a presença da polícia.
But there is one group of young journalists who are based in the favela and report from inside one of the most dangerous places in Rio.
Muito boa noite a todos, né?
É só apresentar os seguintes Marcelos. Eu tô aqui no alto do mundo.
They run a news site and paper called Voz de Comunidade. It's based inside Complexo do Alemão, one of Rio's largest and most notorious favelas. In order to film there, we've had to get permission from the Red Command gang that controls this area too. Voz's founder and editor, 24-year-old René Silva, has told me to meet him on the edge of Alemão.
Hey!
Hey! Hello, my friend.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Good to meet you.
Do you want to know my community?
Yes, I'd love to know your community.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go there.
It's a hot day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Going around the favela by myself is dangerous, so to avoid suspicion from the gangs, I have to make sure I'm always with René or one of his team.
You know everybody here.
Yeah, everybody know about the newspapers.
René founded Voz when he was just 11 years old to report on stories he felt weren't being covered by the media. Today, the national press comes to him for stories about the favela.
This is the place.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
Hello. Hi.
28-year-old Luana Melo is also from Alemão and is Voz's chief reporter.
This is our newspaper printed.
Oh, this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Voz prints a monthly newspaper, but its team also upload live reports daily to social media. They have 500,000 followers online.
Luana, então, o que nós temos para hoje?
Então, agora eu vou passar alguns links para Betinha, porque ela tá fazendo as postagens no Facebook.
So it's Facebook Live, and all the people who subscribe to Voz da Comunidade, they can see it live.
Yes.
A few days before we arrive, the team broke an exclusive story. Gunmen opened fire on a police car that had ventured into the favela. 3 people died in the crossfire, including a young boy, Benjamin Moore. After the shooting, the boy's parents, Fabio and Paloma, disappeared, but Luana has tracked them down. They show me a video of Benjamin.
Essa é uma das últimas fotos que eu tirei com ele. E tem vídeo dele dançando.
It's cute. He looks like you.
Sim, idêntico. Wow. Ele gostava de escutar música, então ele começava a dançar.
Paloma was buying Benjamin sweets when they were caught in Crossfire. Benjamin was killed by a stray bullet. He was about to celebrate his 2nd birthday.
E eu quero que você tente lembrar um pouco daquela noite, como é que foi, o que aconteceu.
Da compra, eu olhei pro meu filho e falei, filho, mamãe te ama. Dei 2 beijos na boca dele. Aí ele respirou 3 vezes assim. Ai, meu filho, pelo amor de Deus, não fica embora, não deixa a mamãe me tocar, porque a mamãe me tocar com o de roupa, tu tá me tocando no chão, não
To support Paloma and their other 9 kids, Fabio sells trinkets on the streets.
Eles têm que ir, meu filho era pra ir ser enterrado com o cachorro, cagarei em cima. Mas sabe quem que é? As pessoas que acham que meu filho não foi enterrado assim, como filho de cachorro.
When Benjamin died in March, he became the 12th victim of Crossfire this year in Rio.
Yeah, that must be a very difficult story for you to cover.
É mais difícil ainda para mim falar dessa história, porque ali onde o Benjamin foi morto, na Nova Brasília, é um local onde eu passo com frequência, quase todo dia.
And what sort of impact do you think this story will have in the community and also outside of the community?
É mais importante ainda a gente retratar sobre tudo aquilo que aconteceu naquele dia 16, onde foi a morte do Benjamin e a morte de outros 2 moradores, para que ações como essa da polícia e do tráfico de drogas não aconteçam dentro da comunidade, naquele horário, daquela forma, com aquela violência. Mas eu tô ligando e tá dando caixa postal. Mas eu vou perguntar aqui pros moradores se tem...
It's been a long day, but Luana is still working. She's covering another story, and this time it's about flood damage in a local community. Everything okay?
It's okay. Eu tô ligando agora pra presidente da associação de moradores, a Regina, pra saber se a gente pode entrar.
And why is it important for us to talk to the leader?
É importante saber como que tá o clima aqui, se tá tranquilo, se tem algum problema pra gente filmar.
There's a Red Command gang base here, and the traffickers are trigger happy. She needs to get permission before we can report on the story. The community leader isn't answering her phone, but Luana gets to work on her other local contacts.
It is quite remarkable the ties and connections that this young newspaper full of young people have got with their local community, but it shows how important they are. Good?
It's okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Vamos.
Vamos.
Because there's no proper drainage, heavy rain has caused serious damage to these homes.
Ainda não... Olha a água lá. Quando chegou, a água lá marca.
This is the watermark. Oh man. Hey, look. Look. For me, in this water. Yeah. So did you?
Não, fiquei em cima.
Subiu.
We're going into the home of Conceição. When heavy rain fell, the open sewer below her house backed up and flooded her home.
Encontrou as duas águas, aí derrubou a parede, derrubou ali tudo. E saiu, levou a pia daqui.
How high did the water come up to here?
A água chegou aqui assim, mais ou menos aqui. Aí derrubou a porta da frente e saiu levando tudo.
Conceição now has to live with the stench from the open sewer.
A gente está cobrindo essa história desde que aconteceu. Foi através da gente que a Defesa Civil veio aqui, porque quando a gente chegou, nós fomos o primeiro a falar: Defesa Civil, cadê você? Não veio ninguém até aqui visitar.
Luana is about to stream a Facebook Live report saying that a month after the flooding, people are still living in devastated homes.
Boa noite, está começando mais um boletim de notícias. Hoje é dia 28 de março de 2018. Eu estou aqui no Parque Everest para falar as novas informações do que está acontecendo aqui no Parque do Everest.
The Voz team tell me it's too dangerous for me to stay in the favela overnight.
It's coming up to 7 o'clock. And I've been woken up by gunfire. I can hear it in the distance. I'm in my hotel.
Even here on the edge of the favela, you can hear frequent gunfire. So when I arrived in Rio, I was advised to download an app called Fogo Cruzado. It's basically a sat-nav, but rather than help you avoid traffic, it helps you avoid gunfire. It's just so bizarre to think that people need an app like this to go about their daily lives and feel safe. My app tells me that there were more shots fired in Complexo do Alemão than anywhere else in Rio this week. Tonight, I'm back with editor Rene, and I want to know whether his journalists ever worry about repercussions as a result of the work they do. Would you write stories about the things that the gangs do?
Eu nunca fui impedido de escrever sobre isso, mas eu prefiro não escrever porque eu moro aqui dentro da comunidade ainda. Então, isso acaba sendo um risco muito grande, não só sobre o tráfico, mas sobre a polícia também.
Rene says that revealing details of the gang's business would risk his life and that of his family. But they do report on the human cost of the constant shootouts between gangs and the police. Rene shows me one of his reports on his phone. This video captures the death of 20-year-old Caio Moraes. His mother claims he was shot by a police officer during a demonstration in the favela. Ever since his death, Caio's mother, Denise, has been campaigning to get her son's killer prosecuted.
Do you think there will ever be justice for what happened to your son?
Tem que ter. O policial tem que ser preso pra gente mostrar que, mesmo o Brasil não sendo o Brasil dos meus sonhos, mas que a justiça acontece.
What do you think of the work that Rene is doing?
O que eu acho importantíssimo. Isso vai dar uma base, nos fortalece, entendeu? A gente vê que a gente não está sozinho, que a gente tem outras pessoas aqui dentro que lutam pelos nossos objetivos.
The murder of Denise's son is still being investigated, but human rights groups report that killings such as this one often go unpunished. Two weeks ago, Brazilians took to the streets in anger. All across the country, protests were held following the shocking murder of a city councillor from the favela. Marielle Franco was an outspoken critic of military intervention and police tactics in the favelas. Today, a library in the favela that was closed for 16 months is being reopened in Marielle's name. The governor of Rio arrives to pay his respects. It's a chance for Luana to ask him questions about the investigation into Mariela's death.
Deixa a polícia trabalhar, eles não podem falar do andamento das investigações.
I also have a question.
Could you tell me what needs to be done to change things here?
O que precisa ser feito para mudar as coisas? Eu acho que investir cada vez mais em cultura, em educação, né, na saúde, médicos de família, dar assistência total à população.
Mariela's partner, Monica Teresa, is also here. She's taking on Mariela's role and speaking up about the senseless killings in Rio.
Absurdo que a gente vem vivendo desse caos de violência. Senhor vereador, desculpe, mas era sangue nas suas mãos.
The governor gets a hostile reception.
Peraí, calma. Isso aqui é dia de paz. Dia pra gente voltar.
In January alone, at least 154 people were killed by police in Rio State. But the government says it will take all necessary steps to defeat organized crime and gangs. The families of children killed in the crossfire between police and traffickers have left their favelas to protest on Rio's most famous beach, Copacabana. Voz has sent photographer Betinho Casas Novas to cover the event. Parents are hanging the clothes of their dead children. In some cases, these are the clothes they were wearing when they were shot.
So what's it like for you, someone who has grown up in the favelas, to come down here to Copacabana?
É bem esquisito para mim, porque por morador de favela que vive num local segregado, num local onde a violência é constante, é tranquilizador, mas é muito assustador estar aqui nesse local, longe da favela, e não escutar um barulho de tiro, sabe? Pra gente que vive num tiroteio todos os dias.
Pastor Antonio Costa has organized the protest.
Hello. What an incredible day. If someone was killed here, I'm sure it'd be mainstream media. But if someone was killed in a favela, not many people will talk about it. Why?
We live in a kind of social apartheid. People that live here, they don't know the tragedy. They are not burying their children. This tragedy happens in the slums.
Have you got any hope for Rio and for Brazil?
47 children killed by straight bullets. Imagine something like that in London, in Amsterdam, in New York. This is unacceptable. We tolerate what is intolerable, okay, in our country.
A busload of school children from a favela arrives. The pastor tells me it's 1 year since their classmate was killed by a stray bullet.
Are there lots of shootings at your school or in the favelas that you live in?
Se não se abaixar, todo mundo se joga todo mundo tem que ir pro corredor da escola.
The parents of 2-year-old Benjamin, who was killed in Complexo do Alemão, arrive. It's only been a week since his death.
Eu não tive alegria, sabe?
Toda vez que a gente entrava no trem, era aquela brincadeira, entendeu? Que não vai existir mais, cara. Se eu soubesse que eu ficasse aí, eu deixaria de estudar muito mais, cara, entendeu?
Think of the good times.
É o que eu vi, os bons tempos.
Keep them close, the good times.
Todos os dias.
It's hard to put it into words because the weight of emotion here is just so heavy. But I suppose this is a small victory for Benjamin's parents because this is what they want. They want the media attention. They want people to hear their story. But the reality is, even if they do get justice, it's never going to bring Benjamin back.
And that's what they have to live with for the rest of their lives. It's our last day of filming, and in Complexo de Alemão, favela businesses have donated 5,000 chocolates for Easter Sunday. Go. So everybody. It's pretty exciting times. This is a big time of the year for Voz de Comunidade. Normally they've only got 18 people working for them. It's now about 60 because they're going out into the community. They're distributing the chocolates to the poorest children. Hello, for you, chocolate. Oh, she's shy. It's obvious to me that these young reporters don't merely write about this community, they're very much a part of it. Is this a great opportunity as well for Voz de Comunidade to get the next generation of kids in the favela interested in your newspaper and the work that you do?
Nós acabamos inspirando essas crianças a nos seguir.
Good day. Voz de Comunidade, eh? Yes. Last year, nearly 1,000 people were injured in crossfire between gangs and police. Over there is Marielle, the murdered politician who spoke out against police brutality. There's Denise's son. He was killed after being caught in crossfire between gangs and police. And perhaps the most tragic was the death of young Benjamin, 2 years old, killed in front of his mother and his young sister. It's all just so sad. But I'm getting the sense that the people of the favela are no longer willing to accept the intolerable, and they're starting to influence the public about the things that are affecting them. And you can see this through the work of the Voz de Comunidade. And my hope is that one day in the future, these walls of death will be replaced by images of heroes from the favela.